Hello guys. Today we are going to study biology chapter 1 ICSE book plants and animal tissue. So let's start. You have studied that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. All living organisms, plants and animals are made up of tiny microscopic cells. This means that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. All the living things and non-living things are made up living things and plants and animals are made up of cell. The cell, whether that of unicellular organism or a multicellular organism, consists of protoplasm. The cells are two types. This means that cells are two types, unicellular organism and multicellular organism. When both are combined, protoplasma is formed. The what is protoplasma? The living substance. You can tell the living substance. You have also learned that there are cells, trillions in a human body. Some of these cells form skin, some form muscles, some other form bones, and still other form blood. This means that cells when trillions of cells are combined, a human body is formed. In trillions of cells, they are also divided. Some form skin, some form muscles, some form bones, some form blood. Then a group of cells which are similar in structure and perform a specific function form a tissue. This is the definition of a tissue. When a group of cells which are similar in structure and um, are combined and work on a specific function is called a tissue. For example, the surface of cells of the skin form one tissue. The cell constituting muscles are contractile and constitute the muscle tissue, or the green leaves of a leaf form one tissue, and the wood forming cells of the stem constitute another tissue. This means that when we will take an example, the surface of the skin, it is also formed cells, muscles, uh, they are also formed tissue. So these are the examples of a tissue. There are various of organelles present inside the cell. These organelles are arranged in a highly organized manner to form a specific functions. Cell organized to form tissues, tissues organized to form organs, and organs further. So this means that there are various organelles inside the cell. When the organelles arranged in a arranged in a highly ordered manner to form a specific function, the cells organized to form as tissues. Okay, tissue organized to form organs, and organs further form organ systems. This means that a group of cells, when they are similar in structure and perform a specific function, form tissue, and group of tissue they are similar in structure and perform a specific function in a body is formed organs, and organs, group of organs, they are similar, they are perform specific function in the body, form organ system. The organ system are present in both plants and animals of higher groups. Thus, one can say that the bodies of plants and animals are organized structures, and hence they are called organisms. That means that when group of organ systems are present in plants and animals, when they are combined, so that is called organisms. Tissues, you can see here, it is given section of skin. The upper surface is formed of tissue. Phloem, the upper surface, is also formed of tissue. All multicellular organisms, animals and plants, start their life as a single cell. The fertilized egg or zygote, the fertilized egg divides repeatedly to produce thousands, millions, billions um, of cells. This means that when when a multicellular organism, means plants and animals, start their life as one cell, not trillions of cells in a human body. We also, human body, have started our life of one cell. Then the one cell divided into repeatedly divided and produced more cells. Means for today one cell, next day 5 cell, third day 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, continue. In kinds of tissue, the bodies of plants and animals consist of different types of tissues, which performs a specific function. Plant tissue are basically of two kinds: meristematic and permanent tissue. How many types of tissues are there? There are two types of tissue: meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. What is meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissue are made up of actively dividing cells. Their only function is to produce more cells, leading to the growth of the plant. This means that meristematic tissue um, produce more cells. Uh, um, these cells goes to permanent tissue, and this process goes on. Meristematic tissue are found at all growing points in a plant, like the tip of the roots, stems, and branches, where the growth in length occurs. The growth in the thickness of stem is also due to meristematic tissue. That means that when we see a tree, a old tree, the side part of the old tree is bigger. So that means that that part is known as meristematic tissue. They produce cells, um, and they go, after that it divides into two parts: permanent tissue and a complex permanent tissue. We will study where the meristematic tissues are found. At all the growing points, means roots, stems, leaves, and etc., branches also. To study the activity of meristematic tissue in a plant, so we will find out the process, how we will know that the meristematic tissue is present in a plant. Soak some green gram moog seeds overnight in water and then keep them on soaked cotton in a petri dish. After 2 or 3 days, you will see white sprout coming out of the seeds. Observe these daily. They grow very fast. Their root tip consists of meristematic tissue, which helps in their growth. That means when you will put moog seeds overnight in a water, then you will soak it in a cotton cloth, you will find out that after 1 day or 2 days, not 3 days, it will be before 2 or 1 days, a white sprout is becoming white color. That means that the plant will grow faster, because in that stem consists of meristematic tissue. The main characteristics of meristematic tissues are as follows. The cells are small, the cell walls are thin, the nuclei are large and constitutions, the cells are almost without vacuoles, the cells actively divide to add new cells. That means that cells are small, the cell walls are thin, the nuclei are large and constitutions, the cells are almost without vacuoles, and these cells are actively divided to add new cells according to the plant growth. Then we will know that permanent non-dividing tissue. Permanent tissue form the bulk of the plant. These tissue do not divide. They become specialized and remain same throughout their life. That means that permanent tissue made the structure of the plant. They do not divide. They become same as they throughout the plant's lifetime. They remain same. New cells are formed when the meristematic cells divide. These new formed cells grow, mature, and get differentiated into two various types of permanent tissue. Permanent tissue do not divide further. What is permanent tissue? Permanent tissue is a group of cells in which growth either has stopped nor for the time being. This means that when the new cells are formed when the meristematic tissue produce more cells, and after produced it is taken by the permanent tissue, and it is the whole lifetime of the plant. What is the definition of plant tissue? A permanent tissue is a group of cells in which growth has either stopped completely or for the time being. Okay. The permanent tissue can be classified into two main types. The permanent tissue are classified into two main types. Simple permanent tissue provides support and protection, and complex permanent tissue conducts nutrients and water and minerals. So that means that there are two types of permanent tissue: simple permanent tissue and conductive permanent tissue. What are they? Conductive permanent tissue transports water and minerals, and simple permanent tissue provides support and protection to the plant. Simple permanent tissue. In simple permanent tissue, there are two types of tissue: protective tissue and supporting tissue. What is protective tissue? Protective tissue consists of cells with thin walls. These are found on the surface of roots, stems, and leaves. That means that protective tissue consists of cells with thick walls. And where they are found? They are found on the surface of the roots, stems, and leaves. Example: epidermis of leaves, which secretes a waxy waterproof substance. You might have observed that water drops falling on leaf do not stick on it. So this example means that epidermis of a leaf which secretes a waxy waterproof substance. When it rains, you will see that water drops falls from the leaves, not stick on its leaf. So that is known as protective tissue. What is supporting tissue? Supporting tissue has mainly three categories: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. What is parenchyma? Parenchyma is composed of large thin walls cells, usually with the intracellular spaces. These are the living cells and are formed in the soft parts of the plant. What are they? Parenchyma is composed of large thin walled cells with intermolecular space. Intracellular spaces, where they are found? They are found in the soft parts of the plant. uh, they store food materials and also provide temporary support to the plant. What they do? They store food and materials and also support the plant body. Collenchyma. Collenchyma is made up of living cells which are elongated and are thick at the corners or edges. This tissue found in the leaf stalks and below the epidermis of stems. This tissue helps to support the plant parts. This means that collenchyma is made up of living cells which are elongated and thick at the corner or edges. This tissue, where this tissue is found? This tissue is found in the below of epidermis of stems or on the leaf stalks. The sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is composed of long, narrow, and thick-walled cells. These are dead cells. These parts it is found in stems and veins of the leaves, mostly as fiber. What it means? It means that sclerenchyma is composed of long and narrow, thick-walled cells. They are mainly dead cells. This tissue provides strength to the plant body. Where it is found in stems and veins of the leaves, mostly as fibers. So for today, this much. We will study about the complex permanent tissue in the next video. So take care and bye bye.